Can you guys hear me now? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Still no sound? Okay. Oh, you can. Oh my gosh. Dang it. Wow, this light's really bright in my eyes. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. Is that alright, guys? Alright, thank you. But it's kind of dark. Here, we'll put it on the low setting. Good now. Alright. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Yay. I guess I can turn the music down a little bit. So, does anybody have any fun plans for Halloween or for tonight? You guys all just kind of chilling, hanging out? Looking spooky. Indeed. I had like scales and stuff, but you can't really see them in this light very good. It's not very, this light's not very good for the makeup that I did. So tell me what kind of plans you guys have. I didn't really have anything, like, planned out for tonight just because it's Hallows Eve. Chilling, tired as fuck. Definitely know that feeling. Just got home from Wenatchee about 30 minutes. Wenatchee, am I saying that right? About 30 minutes ago. It sounds very native. 4 hours east. So, let me know in the chat what kind of things you guys do, like with your family or friends on Halloween or Hallows Eve. Do you have a tradition or anything in particular? It could be a ritual, tradition, something you do every year during this time. Or do you have a favorite costume that you like to dress up in? Or any of you guys dressed up tonight? I'm curious. You hit a deer on the way home. Aww. Sorry to hear that, Bravery. Well, I know it sounds dramatic, but sometimes, you know, they gotta choose an exit point, and yay for drama sometimes. I know, right? Never fun. Last Sunday, I bought my first piece of Moldavite. My Moldavite broke. I actually have it right here. I haven't been wearing it lately. I need to make a new chain for it. And I actually just need to rewrap the whole thing. It was, I wrapped, I think this was like the second or third thing that I ever wrapped, and so I didn't really do a very good job. I didn't really know what I was doing then either. So, it needs to be rewrapped. Maybe that's why it kept breaking and wanted to be rewrapped. You still carry the shungai? Yay! Is it holding up good? I mean, I think it was like over a year ago I made that for you. Bravery. Anybody else in the chat have Moldavite? Moldavite's definitely one of my favorite stones. Since I got that Moldavite, I've worn it. Had it for about 2 years. Worn it basically every day until just recently. When I had it actually on a different chain. But I ended up getting a real bad rash on the sides of my neck from the chain because I think it was just a silver chain, but I don't think it was silver. I think it had like nickel or something in it. That I had an allergic reaction to the metal. Looks nice. Is it a big piece or just a little piece? I know even just like a little piece that big is like super expensive. You had it today? Nice. That's good to hear. That makes me happy. So we've got 6 people in the chat, and I didn't really expect too many people to be here tonight because it's Halloween Eve, and that's why I really didn't plan anything for tonight. So anything you guys want to talk about, any questions you might have for me? Marty! How's it going, girl? Marty, pocket party. I love it. You look amazing, Faery. Halloween is my favorite time of year, but no plans this year. I have a big Moldavite necklace. Ooh, that's nice. 10:01 on the clock right after I read that. Moldavite definitely can make you purge pretty hard if you're not used to it. Although I know Sarah has kind of like the opposite effect with some stones. I feel like we had this conversation recently. Like for me, sometimes when it gets too heavy, I just have to take it off because I'll just like hit every shadow. It's like you turn one corner, there's a shadow. You turn another corner, there's a shadow. It's like, I'm done purging. I just need a break. Mine is smaller than yours, but packs a lot of vibrational energy. Yeah, definitely. I have a smaller piece, too, that was on my crown. And that one kept breaking, too. Speaking of my crown, I was going to put that on, and then I totally forgot. Where did I don't even know where I put it. I am so out of sorts tonight, like unprepared. I haven't even lit my candle yet. I should probably do that. So I believe we have a full moon coming up, and right as I'm 11:11 as I look at the clock. I believe we have a full moon coming up. Anybody got any manifestations planned for said full moon? I think I'm numb to stones and crystals. I don't experience anything. Not necessarily. We just need to get you more familiar with the energy, and that's actually something I'm going to work on with you in our next session. Because before 2018, like I could pick up a crystal. I mean, I had this one crystal that would like put me in a good mood, but I couldn't feel the actual vibrations from it like I do now. So it's something that I developed over time. And that's one of the things that we are going to work on together during your sessions. And if anybody in the chat is interested in doing sessions with me, I've made it really easy for you to do like continued therapy with me for a very affordable price through Patreon. So if you're interested in doing like either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly sessions with me, my highest tier is 1 session a week, and it's $44.44 a month. So everything goes down from there. And I work with you on a very customized individual basis for healing. That way it really benefits you and also me because I get to develop a relationship with you. More than just 1 or 2 sessions, we actually get to go on a healing journey together, which I prefer, honestly, because I'm not the type of person that needs a million different clients. I'd rather have just a few clients that I work with regularly and just really get to know you and be able to develop a really powerful healing plan, journey, therapy, whatever, resonates with you as far as that goes. Should I charge Moldavite in the full moon light? That is up to you. You can use many different methods to charge your Moldavite. You can use the moonlight, you can use the sunlight, you can use sound, you can use, you know, like stream, like, you know, like you can go to like a stream or a creek and run it in the water, or like use like some water that maybe you cleansed and put your intentions into. Those are all different ways that you can charge your Moldavite. And then also selenite. You can just leave it with some selenite overnight, and that will cleanse and charge it as well. Normally we dress up and trick or treat. Also, we put place setting for our ancestor to invite them in to celebrate with us. And so that's actually really beautiful. I got chills as she's talking about this. So this is something that can be referred to as like a dumb dinner. There's other names for it, but basically you make a meal and you set it out for your ancestors, just like you put out milk and cookies for Santa. It's the same kind of thing, except for you're leaving them for your ancestors. You're basically you're filling that food with all your love and time and energy and placing it before them and saying, this is my offering to you in gratitude for your life that you lived and all the lessons that I got to learn through you, because their DNA and all their lessons are passed down to you. So we always have to remember to be grateful to them for that. And now when the veil is very thin is the best time to like communicate with our ancestors. I'm getting full body chills as I'm talking about this. This is a really good time to just do something to express gratitude. If that's lighting a candle and saying thank you and then blowing it out, and that's what you do, that's fine. If it's just sitting and doing a small prayer, that's fine. If it's doing some kind of a ritual, that's fine. If it's doing like the dumb dinner or whatever, the dinner for the ancestors, there's many different names for it. That's another way to just connect with them and honor them and just show them love and gratitude by putting a little bit of your time and your energy into everything, their whole life that they gave, all the lessons that they learned that they gifted to you through the DNA. And you can all learn to tap into those ancestral DNA lessons as you awaken yourself and tap into your subconscious and start tapping into your own Akashic records and your ancestral records and I probably lost everybody. But it says I have one viewer. Is that you, Raider Outlaws? Did you stick with me through all of that? That was insane. I almost switched over to Instagram, but even that was struggling, so it's like, thank you. Oh, we got a couple more people. Marty, you're back! I made it back. How frustrating is that? Oh my god. So I guess Halloween just has to be a little bit extra today. So for how many of you guys, it's Halloween almost there for some of you on the East Coast and stuff. Crazy hair. Oh. Everyone place a piece of shungite on your computer and move the quartz away. Do I have shungite handy? Don't. I don't have any handy. I don't know where to look for some. Do my best. I try not to mess with my hair so much. So, you guys have any questions for the fairy before you lose me again? Get them in while you can. Well, hopefully, oh, there we go. Like, I did above have a question. Let's see if I can find it. What kind of purge experiences did you have when you first got your Moldavite? I've been wondering... Am I going to start lagging as soon as I talk? Of course. Okay. What kind of purge experiences did you have when you first got your Moldavite? I've been wondering if that's why I'm so tired the last few days. Of course it keeps buffering. I hope you guys can hear me. I'll try to get it in as fast as I can before I lose signal again. So when I first got my Moldavite, for me, that first week, my whole body was very, very vibraty. So like my feet and my hands would vibrate a lot. I felt kind of like dizzy. Not so much dizzy, but like floaty, almost like I weighed less, like walking on clouds. I did notice that the people around me were triggered a lot, and at first I thought it was just me because of my integration and I was triggering them through that, and then I realized Moldavite also has kind of that effect on people, so it's a little bit of that and the Moldavite. So if you're like around a lot of people that are like freaking out and you've got Moldavite on, it's like pulling their shadows out basically, so you might deal with a little bit of that. All in all, it's got really, really like strong, powerful vibration. So if you can't handle powerful, strong vibrations, just use it for small periods of time until you can warm up to it a little bit more, because it can be quite overwhelming and pretty intense for newbies. What up, y'all? What up, Lyric Edward? Welcome. Sometimes you look like Shara Chalk from Scrubs. Frick. I'll have to look her up and see who that is. You know who I used to get a lot when I worked at the bar was Dharma from Dharma and Greg. I can't remember the actress's name off the top of my head, but I used to get that a lot, and I never really fully saw it until I cut my hair short and then saw her with the shorter hair, and then I was like, oh, okay, now I see it. Especially when my hair is blonde. Jenna Elfman. Glitch. Glitchy. That's funny. Elfman. I never thought about that. What a weird synchronicity. Ah, yes. Yes, I understand what you're saying. My energy has been good, but then I crash. Yes. So that's an upgrade. And Glitchy knows all about that. We call that the Source Tyson knockout. So a lot of times if you purge a big shadow, you have to integrate the new frequency as your vibration shifts and changes. So you may need to take a nap or do some form of meditation or cleansing, centering, grounding after that happens. Most people just get really tired and just fall asleep. That's what happens to me. That's what happens to Glitch. That's what happens to a lot of people. It's like, I don't know where, it just hit me out of nowhere. I'm just so tired. I just need to lay my head down for a second. Next thing you know, you're passed out. Hours later, you're like, what happened? That's what I'm talking about. The Moldavite amplifies your energy times 1,000. That's it. Faery, you made it back. That was so frustrating. It took me so long to get the darn thing to come back. I'm surprised we got 7 people. You guys all came back. Oh, I love you all so much. Danish Zihan. Welcome. New name, new face. Blessing to have you here. I thought of that yesterday. I missed what it was. I was lightheaded. Sarah, you made it back. Oh. No, you were here earlier. Okay. I just got confused because you said hi. I'm so distracted tonight. I'm so sorry, you guys. I was lightheaded, dizzy, but I feel like my brain has movements of being lit up. So that's the, what do they call them? Neurons. So you have neurons in your brain, and every time you overcome something, so you challenge yourself and you develop a new skill, or you overcome something, you integrate a new frequency, you actually build a neuron in your brain. So as you're working with the Moldavite and it's helping you upgrade, you're building new, better, stronger neurons in your brain. You may even feel that. You may notice that you're able to think more clearly, answer questions quicker, come up with things on the spot that you didn't, like your intuition will be super heightened, and you'll just like know things without really knowing how you know, you just know. The makeup is fantastic. Thank you. It took me a really long time to do, and this lighting is just not working for it. It's so much cooler looking if I had decent lighting. It's very iridescent. It just looks kind of blue. But it's like, if you see it in the right kind of lighting, like, oh, let's see. I had like scales all on the sides of my head, but you can't really see them. Although my sweating and stuff doesn't help. Now my hair's all crazy. Super crazy. Oh, why do I do that to myself? Jenna Elfman. I had visions of it for a while. Interesting. Visions of Jenna, or just the similarity? Be a little more specific. I had to learn to take naps with all the self-work. Yeah, you do. When you integrate and you upgrade in frequency, and especially when you like overcome something, you gotta rest and allow your body to move into that new timeline, that new potentiality, that new frequency. Otherwise, it's like you're putting up a lot of resistance. If you don't just like, if you lay down and you just like rest it out, that resistance, any kind of conscious resistance you might have had, is just like out the window. So it's really like, if your body's saying like lay down, take a nap, like just do it. EM frequency. What is this? It's a live chat. We're just hanging out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Do you believe in God? Well, God is everything. So yeah. That's pretty cool. Thank you for answering my question. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's not Halloween without a troll, right? It's just not a fairy live without a troll. You always gotta have one. I always wonder what brings people into my chat sometimes, asking questions of that nature, but that's okay. I guess maybe the curiosity. I'm okay to expand if needed. Thank you, Sarah. You shit, girl. Alright. My hair is like all on my face. I'm not used to having this much stuff on my face. I like the stones around your eye. It looks Pleiadian. Yeah, you didn't really have like anything super set. I was just kind of going for like cosmic mermaid fairy. Rev Smash Troll. Oh, dude, I've had a couple of those come in. I wonder if it's the same person. I wouldn't be surprised. Found me through somebody I had done a starseed origins chart, and just harassed me through that, and then it's just like, really, I just don't get it. But whatever. I'm sure there's something for me to learn in the experience. There always is. There always is a reason for the experience. Something to be learned. Something to be seen. Something to be brought forward for me to look at. 11:44. And then we got 828:44. Ooh. Oh. People are clowns like that. Yeah, for real. They really are. But you know what? I think I just figured it out. So one of the things is when that would happen is I would get like bad anxiety. And I would let it affect me really negatively, and I wouldn't want to make a video, and I wouldn't want to do anything because I'd let it affect me negatively. And I had to come to the realization, I don't even know these people. Their opinion of me doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They can think, feel whatever they want. The only way it's going to affect me is if I allow it to. Is if I accept their projection, their whatever. It's always going to be up to me whether or not I allow the energy to come into my space, whether or not I allow it to affect me. Hello, Alexandria Armstrong Duracell. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Part of being bright, you attract a variety. Indeed I do. Indeed I do. Most likely something they needed. Yeah, they probably just needed an activation and they didn't even realize it. That's what I always feel. I'm like, maybe they just needed an activation, something to be woken inside their subconscious. And they have too much resistance, so, you know. I work in many ways, more behind the scenes than anything. About time, babe. Yeah. Hi, Alexandria. Say hi, Alexandria, everybody. I'm so grateful to have you all here. Just hanging out. I mean, like I said, I didn't plan anything for tonight. I just wanted to connect with you all. And it kind of gave me an excuse to practice the makeup for my daughters tomorrow on myself. So, and share it with you all. I haven't really dressed up much for Halloween since I had kids. I did, I think, Wonder Woman a few years ago. And then I did it like every year after that. I just put on the outfit and that's my costume. Or I'd be a witch. My daughter goes, that's not a costume. You're already a witch. Goddess represent. Indeed, all you goddesses. Yes, they are They are the moth and you are the light. You know, EM, you can call it deceived by New Age, whatever. I don't follow any of that. Just, I follow here. The guidance that I get from Source, from my higher self, and that's all I need. I don't need anything else. I just don't. Hi, Faery. Love the makeup and the rhinestones. Good night, Raider Outlaws. Thank you for being here. We are love, indeed. Bob Marley said it best. Love is my religion. Eli G, the troll needs food. Growing hair takes energy. Yeah. It's interesting that this energy came back, which means that it's triggered, which means that something energetically is being shifted in that individual. So Job done. That's all that needed to happen. Eli G is a sync for me, huh? Oh yeah, that's because that's your favorite movie, that's right. Or one of them. I don't know what your favorite movie is. Although I probably should. By the way, this is Professor Chrome in the background music. Shout out to Professor Chrome. He's not in the chat right now, but the last time his track came on was when it completely shut down. Too much high vibrations, man. Shut down the whole internet. So, you can find his music on SoundCloud, Professor Chrome. That's what I'm playing off from right now is SoundCloud. And I'll throw his link in the live stream afterwards if anybody wants to check him out. Yep, allowed to flow on our end. Indeed, indeed. Alright, so I'm not used to having all this like kind of dead air because I always have something to talk about and I just don't tonight. Talk about timing, right? Powerful words. Powerful words. Alright, well. It says we have 10 viewers, but nobody's talking. Just enjoying the music. Are we just listening to music and hanging out? I mean, we can do that. That's cool. I know you guys. I know Bravery is the only one talking right now. 11 of you in here. I guess we're just hanging out, guys. I mean... Time warp, yeah. You know what? I've been noticing a lot, like, with time. I guess you could call it a time warp or just a time disconnect. Where time just doesn't work the way it used to. The more aware of it I am, the slower it moves. And as soon as I lose awareness of time, it moves really fast. I lose track of time very easily now. Hours will go by. I'll like get into a project. Next thing I know, it's been 2-3 hours, and I'm like, what? I swear I've only been sitting here for 20 minutes. Like, it's insane. And I know part of that's because I get into like deep meditative states when I do music or any kind of art projects. And that really can mess with your sense of time a lot. I'm loving my Roddy Winston. Interesting. Is that an artist? Bravery. I am grateful for everyone, and we're grateful for you, Bravery. Soothe the Glitch. Oh, so Glitch just put a link in the chat, you guys. If anybody wants to book a session with me for hypnosis, quantum alchemy, Reiki, any kind of regression therapy. I also do parallel quantum life regressions. And then I also just do talk therapy. If you just need somebody to talk to, book a session with me, and the link is below. It's also in the program, so you can find it in the chat, and you can also find it in my program. Want to solve a riddle? Interesting. I mean, I can try. I'm always up for a challenge. We are vibing in each other's energy. Yes. Yes. and I just got chills. And I think I was feeling that for that moment. Like, I have this need to kind of fill dead space, and sometimes I just need to kind of like just feel and not always talk. The person who built it sold it. The person who bought it never used it. The person who used it never saw it. What is it? Sorry. Pardon the language. Alright. I'm going to say it one more time. If anybody has an idea. Yeah, it would be good. The person who built it sold it. The person who bought it never used it. The person who used it never saw it. What is it? Industrial shit. Industrial shit. It could be in graveyards. It could be in graveyards. So, a headstone. Right? Because the person who built it sold it. The person who bought it obviously didn't use it. And the person who used it never saw because they died. Right? Headstone. No. Oh. Tombstone? Isn't that the same thing? Casket. Good one, Glitch. Casket. Oh, I knocked off my crystal. Forgot it was there. I highly recommend you book a session with Faery. She's helped me. Yes. Definitely. If you guys are needing any kind of help, any kind of assistance, don't hesitate. It's really easy to book a session with me. My schedule's up there too. Close. Yes. Oh, it was a casket. Okay. Good job, Glitchy. You got it. I forgot the clocks changed. Did I miss an hour? Oh yeah, the clocks changed. Oh my gosh. That means we get an extra hour. So we got Marty and Sarah. You're in the chat. Marty and Sarah, right? Let me know. And because I wanted to do that Zoom call tomorrow, but then I never did the thing. So I'm thinking about doing it on sometime next week. That way I can give you guys a little more heads up about it. Let me know if that's going to be okay with you guys. Yes? Okay, cool. Because I know there's only 4 of you, but I would like for you all to be able to be a part of it if you can. So I want to be able to give you a little more time to come and set up a better time. I've just been kind of, the energies have me a little, in another world. Yes, perfect, cool. Awesome. How do I book a schedule or session? So Glitch put the link in the chat a little bit up, and then you can also go to like the information section where it says right below it says become a Patreon or book an appointment online. So if you just want to do like one session, then just do the appoint fix one that Glitch just did. If you want to do like weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly sessions, then do Patreon, because it's going to save you money and you get all of the like extra goodies for being a Patreon. So it's just, it works better for you that way if you want to do more than one session. But if you just want to do the one, yeah, exactly. You can sign up for Patreon cheaper than Netflix. So for $5.55 is the lowest tier, and you get in on the monthly Zoom call with the group healing. You also get to get access to everything else that I post on Patreon. Really, I keep everything open for all the tiers. The only difference in the tiers is the amount of sessions that you book with me. So the top tier is 4 sessions a month. The one below that is, 2 sessions a month. The one below that is 1 session a month. And then the one below that is just if you only want to do the group healing and then have access to the rest of the blog and stuff like that. And I post like recipes and energy updates and stuff like that there, because we really don't do Facebook anymore. So that's kind of where I do all the stuff I used to do on Facebook. I just don't do it anymore on Facebook. I do it on Patreon. I did just put a really awesome recipe on there for pumpkin spice pumpkin seeds. So if anybody likes those. Is the time on your website Pacific Standard Time? Yes. And I always send a text message making sure you know that it's Pacific Standard Time. I've noticed that some of you guys have like blockings on your text messages, so the auto text won't send to your thing. So I'll try to reach you through other methods like Instagram or email. But it is Pacific Standard Time. And if you've never had a session with me, please, please, please book a consultation first before you plan on having a session with me, because the consultation is absolutely vital before the first session. It makes it so I can get to know you better. I can do like suggestibility tests on you. I can know, how you work with hypnosis, how you work with energy, and just how to run your session, because I'm going to customize each session per individual. Happy Halloween, Ognes Sagata. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but thank you for being here and thank you for the riddle. Since you got it right, I must subscribe. Oh, nice. Okay, I'll do it through the site. Awesome, cool. Trick or Treat is canceled in Scotland, so we are doing it in our house tonight with our kids. Yeah, it's canceled here too, so we're gonna do we're gonna hide like candy treats around the house and let the kids like do an Easter egg hunt around the house. But that's gonna you gotta work with what you got. And I don't know, sometimes the kids go around the apartments. I don't know what it'll be like this year. So if there's other kids hitting up the apartments here, then I'll send my kids out to kind of knock on the doors that are opening. But I don't think that they're letting us do any kind of trick-or-treating today. The kids still kind of play with each other here in the apartment. So I know that the residents here aren't as worried about it. But, yeah, it's interesting times right now. Also, I like your makeup and rhinestones. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Alexandria. Happy Halloween, Bravery. Nice. Camped down at a big river just now under a big, beautiful, almost full moon. Happy Halloween. I hope they have fun too. We did find a really good neighborhood last year, so we were kind of looking forward to that this year, but maybe next year. We do live in a good town that has good neighborhoods for that kind of stuff. We made it through the no talking, LOL. Yes, and then I turned the music down because I don't know what was playing in the background. Get some more tunes for us. It was interesting as soon as I started that it was at the beginning of a song. Sinky. Life is like Halloween. Everyone wears a mask, looking for treats, but life is full of tricks, isn't it? Ooh, deep indeed. Well said. Not in Tahoe, but I'm taking my son to a couple of friends' houses and getting them each a bag of candy. glitchy. I remember for one of my Halloween nights, me and my friends were being... I remember for one of my Halloween nights, me and my friends were being watched by a guy next thing you know it. He chased us with a chainsaw. Oh. Scary. Bravery. And my... Oh, you're just saying hi to everybody. Never mind, I read it. Oh, okay. Trick or treat John. Oh, you have a chainsaw? Ooh, spooky. So, who's seen, I know this is gonna be so bad, but who's seen like the comparisons of Mariah Carey with the, like the mask? Oh my god, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So bad. I kind of feel bad because she was like, she was always my idol growing up, because these guys used to give me really bad anxiety when I was a kid. I was like, I have chipmunk cheeks, and I used to be really self-conscious about it until I discovered beautiful Mariah Carey, and she had these amazing cheeks, and they looked so beautiful on her face. I was like, you know, I think I could get used to them cheekbones. I enjoy Halloween with my kids too. I'm kind of bummed we couldn't trick or treat this year. And oh, somebody just booked an appointment. Thank you, whoever did that. Agnes, perhaps. Oh, did I miss something? John, you was the guy with the chainsaw. Thought I missed something. Agnes, perhaps I was sleepwalking. Maybe. I'm totally a sleepwalker too. I don't know. It's been a while since I did it, but I remember I used to sleepwalk hella. I got stories, but you guys probably don't want to hear them. It'd be like that, respect, ma'am. Oh, let's hear the stories. Tell us. Tell us about your sleepwalking. So, I lived in this house with some roommates, and I was going through a lot, like, of nightmares and stuff like that at the time. I was also drinking a lot, so I would fall asleep into really, really heavy sleeps. And I would sleepwalk, and I would go get knives from the kitchen, and I'd walk around the house with knives in my sleep. And it used to freak people out. And my roommate Amber actually stopped sleeping with me because we used to share a bed. She stopped sleeping in our bed because I had brought a knife. I had went and brought a knife to bed with me and actually like slashed the sheets up. I told you I had some stories. Yeah. And actually that stopped happening after I moved out of that house, so it could have been something in the house. I don't think I've ever had an experience with knives and sleepwalking since then. Let's get a fright fest. Yikes, knives, yeah. It's quite frightening. I'm lucky I didn't, like, hurt somebody in my sleep. That would have been horrible. Michael Myers Part 2. Yeah, I was like the female Michael Myers. Oh my god. I also used to sleepwalk when I was a little baby. I would leave the house and go outside. My mom said she found me out in the middle of the street once in the middle of the night. She found my brother. My brother used to do the same thing. He had, I guess, gone all the way outside, gotten into the truck and fallen asleep in the truck, and they couldn't find him forever, and then they found him asleep in the truck. But I guess me and my brother used to wake up in the middle of the night when we were toddlers and leave the house. I've never had my kids sleepwalk before. They sleep talk. All of them sleep talk. But none of them have done sleepwalking before. Do we got any sleepwalkers in the house? Any of you guys sleepwalk? I had a flatmate who used to sleepwalk in the streets in his underwear. He once came back in an apartment and urinated all over his clothes and got into bed. Oh my god. That sounds terrible. Another time my flatmate walked through the park sleepwalking and woke up with branches in his bed. Interesting. 909-910. So what would you suggest for opening up gifts you are ready to reopen, such as seeing spirits? Third eye work. Since your resistance isn't so much your conscious mind, I think what you really need to do is work on opening more of the third eye, like just doing energy work on it, or maybe like doing like a meditation with an amethyst, or something that works with the third eye. I believe lapis lazuli is good for that too, to just kind of help amplify and open and expand that. And you know, take it simple, take it easy, take it slow. And then also I've heard dry fasting, like if you do like one day of dry fasting with like an intermittent fasting routine, that can kind of help amplify your connection to the other side. And I think it's because when you go through the 24-hour dry fast where you're not eating or drinking, you start pulling from your reserves. So you're actually tapping into cellular, molecular structures that maybe were dormant until you essentially needed to pull them from the reserves. So that's how maybe dry fasting could potentially be beneficial for you, but just be really careful, especially if you have any health problems, and make sure it's something that you're ready to do. Alexicio, welcome. I slow danced with the closet door in my sleep. That's awesome. Bruh, sleepwalking sounds awful. Dude. I'm actually it's probably a good thing I haven't slept walking in a while, because I can't think of anything I've done good in a sleepwalking state. Life is a dream, so we all sleepwalk, sleep talk. Indeed. Indeed. To some degree. What I was speaking of was more like, you know what I'm talking about. Have you ever wondered why Area 51 keeps their bases so secret? What are they hiding? Who are they hiding? Oh, they're trying to hide the fact that ETs are something that's real, but it's becoming so common knowledge, and so many people are starting to tap into their ET selves and their ET star families that it's like they can't really hide it for much longer. So all of that stuff it's really only going to be, you know, secret in theory. It's not going to be anymore. You're going to be able to tap into the information. Those of you that know how to do it, to tap into like Akashic records and remote viewing and stuff like that, you don't need any other source of information. Once you get to that point, you can find anything you need to know within, any kind of information. I had a friend who got drunk and got up in the middle of the night and urinated all over his suitcases for the vacation the next day. When he woke up the next day, he had to repack everything fast. Oh my god. That would be horrible to wake up to, like, ooh. What's that smell? What happened last night? When I sleep, I feel like watching myself sleep outside of my body, but I cannot move to other places. What's that? That is called astral projection, out of body experience. So, this is actually something that, a state that we all go into naturally. A lot of us just don't realize it because we aren't consciously aware of it. Some of us, our brainwaves are moving so high, by the time it goes to a lower state, we're already knocked the fuck out. Or we take sleeping pills or other things to like numb us down, knock us out. So when you get into a certain state, you can essentially remove yourself from your body because you're a spirit in a body. There's a lot more to you than just this body. This body is just one little piece of you. So when you expand and open your consciousness and start opening up your gifts, you can actually consciously see yourself removing from that body, seeing your spirit leave your body when you go into like an astral projection. A lot of people will see themselves laying down in the bed as you're essentially like looking over them. Some people talk about like how they can kind of float around their house and even sometimes outside their house, and the next thing they know, they're in a full quantum leap, jumping through tunnels and into other dimensions and realms. But a lot of times it starts out with like, you can like almost feel yourself coming out of your body. Some people can look around and see their body, see the room, and almost feel like a floating spirit. This is actually a really normal occurrence that we all have the ability to tap into. So if this happens to you, you're not crazy, you're not losing your mind. It's called an out-of-body experience, and it's part of astral projection. Everybody say hi to Alexi. Bravery, you slow dance with your closet. LMAO. Haha, that's what I was told. I had a lot of sleepwalking episodes. It was a bifold. It swung both ways. Nice. My 11-year-old son had waking nightmares this week where something horrible is chasing him through the woods next to our house. When you talk to him, he panics and explains all about the monster. Interesting. I wonder if he's doing like dimensional work inside his sleep and he's just remembering it. Also, a couple of years ago, I heard a man's voice say Mary as clear as he was standing next to me, but I know no one was there. I still am curious to know what he meant. You could have had a past life with the name Mary, and that remembrance could have been activated in you through that name. And it's possible that you could have just passed it off as like, oh, you know, something, and maybe not fully. So maybe if something comes up in the next hours, months, weeks, whatever, with the name Mary, pay attention to that. Because you're going to be given another opportunity to essentially know what that means to you. It's hard for me to tell you what that means to you because it's going to be different for everyone. But it could have something to do with like a past life experience, some kind of an activation, something that needed to be remembered. I hear loads in our house at night, voices, taps, bangs, but no one else does. It's like a nosy ghost that I only hear. Interesting. Maybe it's trying to get your attention. Or what he was trying to tell me. Well, I want you to just pay attention. Just really try, like anytime you hear the name, or it could be totally random. Somebody says it, you see it somewhere, 1212. There's my synchronicity. What are you thinking in that moment? What was happening in that moment? And see what maybe that's trying to tell you that can maybe help unlock some more information there. I fly over my childhood home in my sleep. Interesting. That's awesome. I love that. 12, 16, 72. 121672. Ooh. That's similar to sleep paralysis when something stares at you or we think. Yes. Sleep paralysis is the state you go in right before you astral project, right before you have the out-of-body experience. A lot of people get stuck in that sleep paralysis state because they get freaked out and they get scared. So what you have to do when you get into that state is you have to get really excited. You have to get really excited, like, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You get really excited because that excitement will actually help counteract any fear that comes in. And it also raises the vibration of the experience. So there isn't any kind of openings for any kind of interference that could scare you. So when you start to feel kind of that sleep paralysis come on, start to get really excited. Think about something that makes you really happy, really excited, or just like start to just feel that feeling right before you go down a really fun slide or you're about to get on a roller coaster and you know you're just about to have that adrenaline rush, like you're getting really excited. Really tap into that energy when you get into that sleep paralysis state, and it's going to really help you go in from the sleep paralysis state into the astral projection, into the out-of-body experience, where you can literally leave your body and go to other dimensions. Or just explore this one too, in just another state, because that's fun too. Sarah, you could ask him in meditation or just before you go to sleep. Yes. Lucid Dreamers Club. Emoji King, you've been lucid dreaming? So, I did some lucid dreaming for a while after I did my dream hacking course. And my biggest problem is I drink too much caffeine during the day. I get into the lucid dreaming state right before I wake up. Like, I start realizing I'm dreaming. And as I realize I'm dreaming, I tend to wake myself up. So I gotta figure out how to stay in the lucid dream once I have the awareness that I'm still in the dream without waking myself up. Member. And hi, Emoji King. I didn't say hi to you yet. Thank you at Johnny, but I have no response. Okay. Well, maybe we can tap into that during your session on Sunday. We can see if we can tap into that. Faery, I can't seem to clear my son's entity, which is taunting him. I feel my son accidentally invites it in with his fear. Almost like a contract that I can't clear. Okay. Do you do any kind of psychic shield? Have you taught him how to do a psychic shield on himself? Because that's going to help him a lot. Because anytime he starts to feel that fear, he can set his shield and he can put his faith in the shield and the protection of the shield. And if he has enough belief in himself, there's not going to be any way to break through that shield. Jumping back from Area 51, I heard they have higher tiers than the government trapping creatures that we, the ordinary, think are non-existent. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot that we, the ordinary, didn't know, but are now learning and now becoming aware of. And a lot of us are just simply remembering things. I mean, I don't know about y'all. It could be like tape theory, like residual energy in your home. Oh, that makes sense. There could be a spirit named Mary in your home. Or it could be connected to you in some way. I think we'll do some work with that when we do your session on Sunday and see what we can come up with. Because it might be easier once we step you down into a lower brainwave state to pull some information forward. But if we hear or see them, the group of people would kill us or take our minds away. Interesting. Shadows follow me, but that's when I'm awake. They'll only bother you, Emoji King, if you let them. You ultimately have the power when it comes to beings, entities, spirits. And this goes for everybody. If you're being taunted or teased by being a spirit, you ultimately have the power to just tell it to fuck off. Like, you really do. And a lot of people don't realize that because they just go straight into a state of fear. And I used to as well. When I first started like channeling and seeing things in my mind. Like, I'd close my eyes and there'd be like a freaking ET there. Like, that shit used to scare me a lot. And eventually I had to get over that. And sometimes they're kind of like weird. And you just gotta tell them to fuck off and get the fuck out of your field. You don't want to look at them. You don't want to deal with them. And if you just don't pay any attention to them and don't feed them any energy, they will go away. That's it. It's really, they feed off on that energy. So as long as you are feeding them your energy, they're going to stick around. I thought you had to relax though. Yes. Are you talking about in hypnosis? I mean, I can work with people who can't relax too. I have methods where I can induct you without you even realizing you're being inducted. Yeah. I have cleared that energy and rewrote it. Oh, that's good. Okay. Agnes, I feel many of this planet used to live in other worlds. This week I have been scrying and seeing my previous lives come through. Amazing. Scrying right now is a really powerful time for scrying, so I'm really glad you mentioned that, John Benny. I was actually doing some of that earlier today. This time of year, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. This time of year, the sun comes in my window, and so it hits like perfect for scrying. I like to do sunlight scrying because I can actually see a lot more when I scry in the sunlight than when I use like a mirror or water or just like a flat surface to scry on. I found that using the rays in the sunlight, I get colors, I get more vivid pictures, I get movement, where I've actually like seen like the mouths move as the beings are like kind of coming through in and out of the projection. So it's what it kind of looks like is, imagine if you were kind of, how do I explain this in a way that makes sense? So it's what I do is I sit there and I let the rays come into my eyes. I don't stare directly into the light. I allow the rays to come into my eyes so that they're kind of hitting my eyelashes. And then you start to see the rainbow reflections of your eyelashes. And then you just kind of hold like a steady vision, a steady gaze. You don't look at anything. You just kind of look without looking at anything. And the first thing you really start to notice is like the rainbows reflecting off your eyelashes. So what I do is I'll pull like a focal point of one of those rainbows and kind of zoom in to like the orb spot of it and use that almost like as a screen to focus on, and that screen will start to create an image for me to look at. Sometimes this is an entity, like a face. Sometimes it's just a landscape. Sometimes it's a symbol or a shape. So it's really different each time. But I have found it to be the quickest and most effective way to bring a projection forward is using the sunlight to scry in. And I've used water, I've used mirrors, I've used candlelight, used a lot of different methods. I have not gotten to use the obsidian mirror yet, which is something I want to eventually get a hold of. And that will happen in the future. I mean, I live near Black Butte, which is full of obsidian. So if I can just get myself over there, get myself a nice piece of obsidian. You can't sell it, but you can go out and you can get yourself a piece. There's like a certain amount that you can grab. Get myself a piece of obsidian. I have all the tools here. I can like shape my own mirror. Really, it's just a matter of me doing that. And I prefer to kind of get it myself anyways because I can versus like buying it on the internet. Just more me. I really like using stones that are from nearby. A lot of my stones actually up on my table are local. All of this jasper is local. This calcite is local. This obsidian is local. This thunder egg here, that's jasper. I had a thunder egg up here somewhere that's local. Yeah. Oh, did I lose the music? Did my phone die? Okay. What's your zodiac sign? I'm a Libra, Leo, Scorpio rising. What's up, Tom? How's it going? Soothe the Glitch, 12/12/72. Oh, wow. Am I really far behind? Oh, no. I just jumped too far up in the chat. Where are we? I gotta find where I am. Give me just a second, guys. (12/21/71). Interesting. It's weird that that I see both those comments. Still here, Glitchy? You can catch that. Beautiful Sarah, you are a master. Indeed she is. John, I feel, yeah, I heard that we are probably reincarnated. Most likely. I wouldn't say there's too many souls on this planet right now that are having their first incarnation here. Some of us have been here for a very long time. Before any of you humans existed. John, Vinny, put some lemons around the house. Lemons are really great for purification and protection and cleansing. The only Mary that comes to mind is my husband's auntie. She was a witch from Ireland. Ooh. Maybe you're being... maybe you should look into her history. Maybe there's a story or something connected to her. And I got chills. I don't know if you can see those, Sarah. Can you see those chills? Like mad chills. You know what that means. You're out? Alright, Glitchy. Have a good night. In scrying this week, I have vividly seen the seer humanoid form I was several thousand years ago when I used to be a seer for a whole planet that I couldn't prevent from destruction. Aww. Hey, what happens in that astral stays in the astral. Right? Emoji King, great idea. Thanks for the advice, Faery. Sir Glitch, I did not see you. Have no fear, Jenny Moons is here. What's up, Jenny Moons? I sent you a message clip, John. Oh, am I just really far behind? Glitch probably bounced out hella. See if I can get caught up. Day 12, Fruit Fast. Nice. Nice. Looking very fey tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. I meant in sleep paralysis. What did I miss? I feel like I'm missing stuff. I'm sorry if I missed something. This chat jumps around on me and then I get lost. John Binney. I want to find a way to tap into my inner spirits, John. That sounds extraordinary. You'll get there. Just by having the desire is already moving you into alignment with that reality. Just by wanting to tap into your more inner self, your abilities, because everybody has them, is moving you into alignment for that. And more experiences and opportunities will be brought forward to you in order to help you develop and grow and expand your abilities. There is nothing outside yourself. I don't believe in entities in the room. If you have an entity in the room, you have a really good point, Tom. Definitely. So, because we are all one. If you have an entity that's bothering you, technically it's you. Which is why I say, if you're feeling taunted or bothered by a spirit in the room, entity in the room, whatever, you can tell it to fuck off. Because you ultimately hold the power. I see what you're trying to say, Tom. And to some degree, you are right. But there's also, the more complicated explanation of that. But I see where you're getting. I see what you're trying to get out. And I know where you're going with that. They're dead like me. That's awesome. I could see spirits when I was little. But I asked Source to stop letting me see them. But feeling them was okay. I can see shadows out of the corner. Me too. Of my eyes. Yeah. Most of the beings I see, if I see them dead on, it's because the whole room is dark. And then I'm seeing it in a shadow. For the most part, it's like out of the corner of my eye. Or, like in a projection in my mind. Or on a wall. John Binney, we were hoping that you might bless us with your presence someday in our live chat. Fasting community. Interesting. I just can't see them like I used to when I was a kid. Me neither. I used to see a lot when I was a kid. And I've been trying to reopen it for years now. Since my awakening in 2018. And it's been a slow process. But doing like scrying and stuff like that has really helped me kind of remember that I still have the ability. I just wish it was more expanded. I wish I had better control over it. I wish I could like pick the things I get to see and like go to the places I want to go. Sometimes I can like set an intention and kind of go to a specific place sometimes. For the most part, it's just kind of like, alright, well, let's see what's going to happen. Any Pisces gang? Don't leave me hanging. My daughter's a Pisces. My Jupiter is in Pisces. John Binney, we were hoping... Oh, I read that already. That's so cool, Faery. I started to channel... Oh, where'd it go? I started to channel my seer incarnation when scrying. I could see I operated largely in fear. There is a new UK TV advert saying that all seeing, feeling through. Interesting, space and time. Interesting. Zeno, you're a Pisces? Nice. Welcome, Zeno. Pisces, Sag rising, Scorpio moon. Sarah's a Pisces. Emoji King, I would love to if I can figure out in my time zones, space time zone. Thank you. John Binney 72 in the chat today. Scotland time would be around 4 p.m. Thank you. Oh, some of us don't like coming here. You mean as incarnations? Yeah. Like Sarah, she hasn't incarnated. This is her first incarnation since Atlantis. So she took a big long break from Earth. And there's a couple other people that I've met that just haven't incarnated on Earth much at all. That are just here for this cycle. Oh my god, Faery, I was saying, don't you have to be relaxed when in sleep paralysis, otherwise you don't astral project. Oh, I see what you're trying to say. Well, if you're in fear, if you're scared, you're not relaxed. So what's the one thing that makes you not feel scared? If you laugh. So if that helps you relax, laugh. If taking some breaths, if you can do that in the paralysis state, do that. Whatever, say an affirmation, whatever like helps you kind of release yourself from your body, because a lot of us are very, very attached to our bodies. We're very, 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 very attached to our bodies because we're like, we grow up thinking that we have one life. You only live once, and this is our body. Take care of it. You only get one body. And so we like get that drilled into our subconscious. So when it comes to actually astral projecting out of body experiences like that, the disconnect is very hard. And a lot of people need a facilitator in order to get to that point. My scrying was a big tower moment to bring up and forgive my past incarnations. Not all of my seeing was positive. I forgive, I release. Indeed. I still don't like Ouija boards. Oh, don't like Ouija boards. Ouija boards are easily manipulated by energies that are just kind of floating around that don't have a place. If you don't know how to set up the proper kind of protections and stuff like that, they can just kind of see that as an outlet for their expression. At ChakraBunny, you can set up 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. fairy time appointment and still be on regular time in Scotland. Oh, yeah. I'll have to look at the time zones and see, and I'll give you kind of an idea when to book. I'll have to look at the time zones and see the difference. I know, like, when I was taking people in the UK, when I first started, I was getting a lot of clients in the UK, like, more than anybody. So I would get up at, like, 4 a.m. for a 5 a.m. session, and I think it'd be, like, 2 o'clock there. Don't. What if in the state of exiting your body, you lose consciousness for months but break into another dimension? If that is mentally possible. Your soul would literally have to choose to have that experience in order for that to be possible. Those quick little shadows in the corner of your eye are called langoliers. Interesting. I'll have to look up what that word means. I believe you are 5 to 6 hours ahead of us. Yeah, something like that. Hey, Plus, I love your trousers. Oh, nice. Yeah, I had my knee up for a minute. I got the colorful. I'm extra colorful today. Sarah, that's true. I work during the week with people on the West Coast. My company is Seattle-based. Weekends are better, though. I do have openings on Sundays. I think but I can work with you, ChakraBunny. Just let me know. We'll set something up. I need a spam sandwich. I've heard that stuff is pretty gross, but my sister likes it. She got hooked on it when she lived in Hawaii. Sarah, that's true. Oh, I got that already. Pisces. Sarah, 8 hours to Pacific time. Okay. I'll have to do some figuring for that. I'm just here for the bear. Joking. I can never mess with Ouija boards. That's a different level. See, I don't really recommend Ouija boards, to be perfectly honest. Unless you're like a seasoned, trained medium. you know, just don't. Just don't. Unless you really know how to protect yourself, just don't. You're just inviting in chaotic energies that don't need to be in your frequency by doing that. Steve, eggs, beans, spam. Nice. I eat halal rice beads. Glitchy eats a lot of halal. I've never had it. But he's always posting pictures on Instagram. Halal cart, this and that. And I'm like, looks good. What happens in your hypnotherapy therapy sessions usually? So, it really kind of depends on the person. If you're someone who's very resistant and has a hard time relaxing, I'll mostly do a lot of talking. Like asking you questions, listening to you, doing a lot of talking, and just like working through the therapy. That way, I might do a few games with you to kind of find out if you have any kind of suggestibility. If I feel like you're suggestible enough to put you into hypnosis, then we can move into that during the session or in the next session. So that's why I like doing the consultation, because the consultation is usually where I kind of figure out your suggestibility, where I get to know what you need. And that way, when you actually have the session itself, I know whether or not we're going to do an induction and what kind of an induction to do. If I'm going to do like, you know, a 5 or 10 minute quick induction because you're super suggestible and really easy, you go under very easily. Or if you're somebody who's super resistant, where I have to start off with some games and then move you into an induction that you don't even that you're not fully aware that you're being inducted yet, and then induct you and then deepen you and then take you down. Like some people, I have to work on them for hours, and then some people I get them down in 10 minutes. So that's why the consultation is so important. It's absolutely vital, because it's the only way I will know essentially what's going to happen in the session with you, because everybody's different. 4:44 a.m. in Scotland. Nice. Man, I want to stay in this chat, but I have track meet tomorrow. Good night, Agnes. Well, we're going to be closing it down soon anyways, because tomorrow I've got things I got to take care of in the morning for the kids, and we've been going for an hour and 45 minutes. So I know I said I was going to keep them under an hour and a half, but, you know, it's special tonight. Spooky special, plus we had all that chaos in the beginning. So, thank you for being here, Agnes, and we do this every Friday. Feel free to come back and join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. 12:46 a.m. on your side, Emoji King. Can you teach me to fly a helicopter in my front room? I can teach you to do like a visualization, and take you into an experience where you can feel like you're flying a helicopter through hypnosis. But I couldn't physically teach you how, like, all the workings of a helicopter, because I would actually have to know that in order to, you know, program that. But I could put you into, like, an induction and essentially use your imagination, just like you would when you're listening to a story, to create an experience where you could, for, you know, using your imagination for a moment, experience, you know, flying around your living room in a helicopter, if that's what you really want. More spam is sold and consumed in Hawaii than anywhere else. That would probably be why she got so hooked on it in Hawaii. I love spam. She used to do like, what was it? It was like spam and gravy and rice and eggs. What did she call it? Loco Moco or something like that? I think that's what it was. If I am under hypnosis and my parents interrupt me, will I be able to get out of the trance? So, that's a good question. So, have you ever kind of been just waking up and somebody walks in your room and it's like, hey, that's exactly what it's going to feel like. All right? So, when you're in trance, it's the exact same brainwave state and the exact same physical state as just before you fall asleep at night, and just as you're waking up. So if you want to know what it feels like to be in hypnosis, as you're laying in bed tonight and you're about to fall asleep and you're in that kind of in-between state right before you fall asleep completely and everything goes dark, take just a moment and have the awareness, oh, this is what it feels like to be in trance. And then when you wake up in the morning, as you're first fluttering your eyes open, go, oh, this is kind of what it feels like to be in trance. And then that will give you a really good idea exactly how it feels. So when you start to feel your body slip into that state, you're very comfortably allow yourself to go deeper and deeper and find even more comfort and go even more inwards. You know what I mean? Chad Stringham, hey, how's it going? Your tongue is the strongest muscle in the body, both physically and by its use of words. Fun fact, everyone. I like your hair. Thank you. Thank you, Chad. Spam stands for, I don't know. What does spam stand for? That's a good question. Spam. Something processed American, special processed American meat? I don't know. Is it even American? I don't know what it stands for. What does it stand for? I can't believe there's still 14 people in the chat right now. Spare parts and meat. Oh, wow, that's kind of gross. I think you kind of... That sounds so gross. Alright, so... if I tell you when I saw a repeated number, what I was doing and thinking about it, would you be able to tell me what it means? Possibly. Or I could help you maybe have more awareness about it and you could maybe figure it out. We can work together. I can't always tell you yes because I don't know, but I can definitely try. John, yeah, the tongue and the jaw, exactly. Everyone, I am working on a collab with Galactic Gangsters and Native New Yorker 444 called The Power of Angels Within Me. Fantastic. Can you send any photos, videos, or art you would like in the music video Angels? Alright, you guys, so if anybody wants to send photos, videos, art, or music, or photos, videos, or art for the music video to John Benny, that would be awesome. Speaking of collabs, John, I did like the vocals and stuff for the metal song. I've just been kind of like messing with the editing, so I haven't posted anything yet, and I haven't even worked on it for a couple days, to be perfectly honest. I did the light language and the vocals for it like 3 or 4 days ago. And I did the one guitar part. I wanted to do a second guitar part. Like that one guitar part was just supposed to be like to give it a little bit more grungier, and then I had a different tone that I was going to use. I still don't know if I'm going to do that though, just because it took me so long to do the first guitar part. I haven't played my guitar for such a long time, you guys. It's like, I took like a decade off. Okay, so Luna, stop. Is there something in front of your bowl? Here you go. Sorry. She keeps scratching. There was a piece of paper in front of her food bowl. Hey, I moved it. Are you upset? Are you upset? Sorry, my cat. What movie did I watch last? What was I watching last? I watched something a couple nights ago that was really good. I just can't remember what it was called. Oh, you don't need to edit them, John Benny. I'll edit them. I'm super picky about my vocals. Not that I don't trust you, I'm just like weird with my vocals. I saw 111 on my clock and saw a guy training his kickboxing on a heavy bag on Instagram. His caption was, slow progress is better than no progress. I was thinking about getting water and exercise. That's so funny. So 111 is like my code for Gaia, and that's different for everybody. But you said getting water and exercise, and so that's like, it's like healing the body and moving energy. So when you exercise and when you drink water, you're moving energy throughout your body. You're getting that energy flowing. So maybe the 111 is like a sign from your guides to like do that. If you were already kind of feeling like doing it, maybe they were just like cheering you on, like saying, yes, do that. It's really good to pay attention to what you're thinking about when you see certain synchronicities, because they are going to be different for everybody. Like I said, like 111 is my Gaia code, but that's not everybody's Gaia code. Like for some other people, it's like starting something new, you know. Power of angels within me sounds like fire. John, I patiently anticipate. Nice. Come in, Faery, you need to play guitar. Oh, come on, Faery. Yeah, I know. Oh, I know, Tom. Before I had my son, I did play it every day. I was in a band. And then after I had Joey, I put it in its case. I hawked it like 4 times. And I didn't start playing it again until the John Benny song. I know, right? That's really bad. But it's true. I love my guitar. Somebody tried to buy it off of me for more than I even paid for it, and I wouldn't sell it to him. She's my baby. Special processed American meat spam. Ah. Tom, I feel like my guitar progression is slow, even playing every day for the last 2 years. You've only been playing for 2 years, John Benny? You kidding me? Dang, that's incredible. Impressive. Emoji, American meat sounds like people. No, too Halloweeny. 111 is 3 for you. Yes, it is, technically. Yeah, John, I think you need to practice for an hour before you record. Because just recording doesn't make you improve much. Practice makes perfect. Yeah. Definitely. Practice does make perfect. I know, like, when I'm learning a song, like John Benny, the song I did for you, I played that over and over, and it's only, like, trying to think of the progression. It's like 4 chords. It's like short progression. I mean, the change-ups are a little bit tricky, because they're not, like, where my hands, like, naturally want to go to. But it took me a couple days of just playing it through without doing any kind of recording to really, like, catch on to, like, the way you play. Because I learned how to play all my instruments on stage. Like, my mom put me up on stage and was like, alright, so we're just going to turn your guitar off and you're just going to pretend to play. And that's how I started out. No joke. I would still play, like, the right notes and stuff like that, but I wouldn't play anything through the sound. I had, like, the sequencer playing the notes for me. That was just in the beginning. I didn't stay like that forever. But I draw, like, the little tabs things, and I'd set them up on my keyboard, because I did keyboard, too. And it took me, you know, a few months of playing on stage, fake playing on stage. And then I started turning the volume up a little bit more. And the next thing I know, the sequencer is hardly even playing any sound at all. And the whole band's, like, mostly playing live. And that took a while. I want to say at least more than a year from when we started to when we started adding the instruments to it. Because when I first got on stage, I wasn't playing any instruments. I was just singing and dancing for my mom. And it took about a year of fake playing on stage before I felt like I was real playing on stage. And then right after that, I had my kid. Because I was pregnant on stage. I played until it was a few months, and then it was just like, it was too painful for me to stand up on stage while I was pregnant. And I had already had 2 miscarriages prior and was too afraid of losing another baby by being on stage. So I quit at like, I want to say 4 or 6 months. I feel like I still had a pretty good sized belly when I quit, so I want to say about 6 months, because I usually don't even start showing until about 4 months. But after I had my son, I just stopped playing almost completely. I hardly play my keyboard either. I need to do it again. Thank you, John, for inspiring me to pick my guitar back up, and I miss it. It makes me kind of sad that I don't play anymore. I don't play often enough. I may practice scales. Yes. So, John, that's one of the first things I learned to do was scales. Because it really helps with learning the fretboard. So I wouldn't look at my hands so much. Because that would slow me down. I still look at my hands, though, when I play. Tom, I may practice scale between meetings and I work from home now. Nice. I hear you can practice blindfold too. Have you tried it? You know, I have one of those mindfold things. I should. I need to start doing scales again just to get back to memorizing the fretboard. It's been over a decade since I knew it. And your hands kind of remember the places to go, but I'm slow. My rhythm isn't flowing or smooth or pretty sounding. It's very kind of choppy. Maybe it's time to play. Yes, it is. Indeed. It's about to feel, so it's about feel, so it's a good idea to play with eyes closed and learn at a higher level. Indeed. I do notice that sometimes I'll start playing, like channeling, and I'll start playing really good when I'm not trying. And I'll be like, where the fuck did that come from? Thank you, whoever's channeling through me. My hands were on fire. Faery, I will just get you in another collab after this to keep you playing. You're amazing. John Binney, Soylent Green is people. Interesting. Soylent Green is people, like people meet? Faery Tom, can you see your guitar in your third eye? No. I cannot. But I can play it inside my mind. Like, I can visualize myself sitting there playing something and see myself, like, working through things inside my mind, if that's what you mean. Like, I can work through something inside my mind without physically doing it. I need to channel me some Hendrix. No. Well, I mean, yeah, I can. Hey, good night or good morning, everyone. Happy Samhain. And I think with that, let's go ahead and call it, because we're just over 2 hours. And Faery's hungry. I haven't eaten yet. So, I'm going to say good night to everybody. Sending love and blessed Samhain to everyone. Stay safe. I love you all. Your third eye is used to see through people. Yes, definitely. You're kind of hungry too. Okay. I'll let you guys all go. Until next Friday. Thank you all for being here.